Hi everybody, we're back checking in on the class. Everybody's proceeding very well. As you can see, we do a few more bumps.
So now it's time to get out of the edit mode and move on with our sandbox tools. So Cheryl, maybe take everybody through the steps on how you did that.
Okay, so I just selected the select tool and clicked outside to deactivate that terrain.
Let's now soften the edges on our terrain and get rid of that grid.
Okay. Now there's one tip that you may find that the Smooth A tool may not work. Go to your Windows, Styles, and right now it's showing Simple Style. If you do not have that showing up, you want to click it down here to make sure that this works well.
Okay, now let's move on to our smoothen the edge or soften the edges. So we're going to go up to our window, soften edges, and you want to make sure you can check off. Oh, one more step, Cheryl. We actually have to select our grid.
Yes.
There we go. So you have to go up to your select tool, select the grid in order to make this work and be activated. So you can see Cheryl just clicked on the box beside soft and coplanar. The smooth normals actually is already checked off by default. And using the slide bar, you can see how it changes the grid pattern. So we want to smooth it out, and once that's done, let's close out that window. We don't need that anymore. And now let's move on to our drape tool. So we can also close out our styles window. We don't need that any longer either. So we need to go to our top view to place our road. So that's what we're going to do, is place our road using our drape tool.
First of all, we want to draw that road. And I'm just going to draw it off to the side, and then I'm going to lay it over top of the plate and then drop it and drape it actually on the terrain. So just going off to the side, I want to make sure that I'm using the full width of the road. So I'm just going to make just a small line here, and that's going to be my marker. And I'm also going to go down on the bottom, and I'm just going to have a line from here to here. Okay. Then I'm going to use the straight line. I'm going to go into the arc tool and and you can see the arcs forming now, and I'll stop there and click. Just make a nice smooth little arc and bring the arc down, and then I'll end off with a straight line.
So Cheryl, I noticed that when you started your second arc, you double-clicked on the end. That helps to tie it in, doesn't it?
Yeah. And I'm just going to remove this one item here, and I'm going to remove that one line I drew on the bottom. Don't need that. And now I'm going to select the whole road by triple-clicking, and I'm going to use the offset tool. The offset, where's my offset tool? Oh, there it is. My offset tool is up here. Okay, and it's also down here too. And I'm going to select the offset tool and give this road a, oops, see, I forgot to drive, and I've got to go back and clean that up because I do not need that little piece of the road. So I'm just going to do an undo over here on the undo button, and I need to erase this piece of the road. And I'm going to just delete that. Okay, go back to the offset tool again. Oh, I'm going to triple click. Get the whole entire object, and I'm going to use the offset tool. And as you can see, I click that, and I'm going to say 30 feet.
Yeah, so that's about the standard width of a road, so that's why we're going with that amount. Now Cheryl's tying in the ends, and it should fill in the whole road like it does. Awesome.
So it's right beside me. If I go into isometric, you can see that that road is sitting right beside the other plane. I'm going to pull it up and push it over. So I'm going to go back to top view, and I'm going to select this. Actually, I'm going to go to
ISO view.
Yeah, ISO view, and I'm going to triple click this road, and I'm going to move it up. So I'm going to use the move command, and if you use your restraints, your arrow keys, they will force a blue axis if you use your arrow keys. Okay, and then when I go to the front view, I can move it over. Again, you can see I'm on my red axis, and then I'll go to top view. Okay, so you can see it's somewhat lined up. Do I have it through the mountain? Do I have it on a mountain? I got a little bit of a piece down here. Just want to lay it up a little bit. Okay, missed that mountain. So I'm going to go back to isometric, and then I'm going to drape this onto the road.
Yeah, so now we're going to go over to our sandbox tools and go to our drape tool.
There we go.
So you want to make sure that your road is still active.
I think we'll triple click that.
There we go.
And use your drape tool and touch the plate. You got to wait a few seconds, and there you go. Now you can move this piece out of the way and delete it because we don't need it anymore.
So just keep in mind when you're using the sandbox tools that it does take a little bit of time, so you need to be somewhat patient throughout this procedure. So there we go, we've got our road, and notice how nicely it's draped over our terrain.